every single story is impressive and every single story is important, and that the story of the university is the story of our graduates and our alumni. Again, welcome to the Global Alumni Impact Series. It's fantastic to see you here this evening, and I hope you enjoy the event.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Mara Brooks, and I'm from the Alumni Relations team here at Macquarie. Welcome to this afternoon's graduation ceremony. Graduands, in about 45 minutes, you will become alumni of the university and join our global community. About 184,000 graduates have sat in these chairs and walked across the stage as you'll do today. Today's your day, celebrating your achievements. I'm sure you all worked very, very hard in getting here, so congratulations to all of you who are graduating today. Congratulations as well to family and friends who have supported our graduands along their journey. As an alumni community, we're all very proud of your achievement. Your story is now part of the university's story. As the Alumni Office, we're very keen to celebrate your stories and keep in touch. We do that through a range of communications, either university-wide or specifically in your area of discipline. We also offer benefits and services to you as alumni, including free lifetime access to the university library. This might not sound like much, but Macquarie is actually the only university in Australia to offer this for free for your lifetime, no matter where you are in the world. Many alumni actually find this to be a very valuable resource. We also host a wide range of events, ranging from networking to thought leadership lectures, and encourage you to attend. In Australia, we have a presence in Brisbane, Canberra, Melbourne, Perth, and Sydney. It's always a great opportunity to meet alumni from all walks of life. We also recognize, however, that alumni come from all parts of the world, and our graduates may also move to all parts of the world. So we also host a range of events in the cities listed above. Our last count shows that we have at least one alumni in 142 countries, truly a global community. As you travel the world, you could meet friends, mentors, future employers, or even employees via the Macquarie Alumni Network. So what we ask is that you stay in touch. As part of your graduation pack, you would have received a business card which has our details, including social media channels. If we can stay in touch with you, we can invite you to events, communicate with you, and share the latest news from Macquarie academics and research. Today will be a milestone in your life. Congrats once again. Have a great day, enjoy every moment, and we look forward to hearing all about your successes in the future. Thank you.
Shortly, the presiding officer, accompanied by the academic procession, the academic procession will enter the graduation hall. Once they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the national anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Miriga Nalawa. Good afternoon and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly acknowledge the country and its people and to thank the university for their invitation to welcome you here today. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulgari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success, your advancement our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in more traditional times, when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 240 years ago, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents or mortgages, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources which were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So this is not an ideal or a dream. This was normal life for us for the longest time, and not too long ago either. And I don't think there's any reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. But we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. We are normally happy, and our country is normally a healthy one. Now, I'd say, though, share your gifts with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that together we can put together a country and a world that we can be proud of, and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you, and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Vice-Chancellor, Professor S. Bruce Doughton.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your generous welcome to country. It's wonderful to have you here as always. Thank you. Colleagues, guests, families and friends, and most importantly, our graduands here today, a welcome to you all. It is my distinct honour and pleasure to be presiding at this ceremony this afternoon. I bring you all the greetings of our Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO, who is unable to be with us this afternoon. And I hope that this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for every one of our graduands here today. I did see, as we processed in this afternoon, a number of small children and a couple of babies, I think, and I want to make you know that they are also particularly welcome in this ceremony. Our Chancellor, Mr. Egan, always remarks, and I believe he is correct, that all celebrations are enhanced by the presence of young children. And I want you to know also that we don't expect them to stay still or not make any noise. As far as I'm concerned, they're welcome to make as much commotion as they like during a graduation ceremony. He points out in graduations where the Chancellor presides that he's observed over long history as our Chancellor that if a baby cries during a graduation ceremony, They are back within 25 years taking out their PhD, so go for it, babies. And I'm a paediatrician by professional origin, so I am well used to noise of young children and babies screaming and wailing. It doesn't bother me at all. And the Chancellor particularly will always note that as a retired politician, he has heard far worse commotion in the House of Parliament than any group of babies could make in a graduation ceremony. So I hope the children will feel welcome today as well. Today we celebrate the wonderful accomplishments of our graduands here today. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination, perseverance, and of course you make many sacrifices along the way as well. You've all worked very hard to get to this day in your professional and personal lives and have every right to feel very proud of the accomplishments we celebrate with you today. We at the university are also just as proud of those accomplishments, and I'm pleased to be able to congratulate you, each and every one. I also want to especially welcome those who are sitting at the back on this side of the auditorium, as you, the invited guests of our graduands today. The fact that you have been invited to share in this wonderful day of celebration is proof positive that you have played a very important role on their journey through their stay with us at Macquarie University. So to the invited guests of our graduands, I particularly welcome you today as well, and thank you for coming along to join in this wonderful day of celebration. Graduands, you may not realise that you are about to participate in one of Europe's oldest social rituals. If you were to pick a date, say 1500 AD, and look back and see what social institutions existed back on that date that are still around today, there are only about 60 such institutions, including the Roman Catholic Church, the Parliaments of England, Iceland, and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons or local government areas. The rest are all universities. So the traditions that we celebrate here today go back a very long ways in history. For more than 800 years, in fact, graduates have been donning gowns just like the ones you are all wearing today, and participating in ceremonies very akin to the celebration we make here today. Since those earliest graduations, the core of the graduation ceremony has essentially remained unchanged, a defining feature of the life of most universities in the Western world and the experience of their students at this transition point. We all, of course, realise that Macquarie University is not one of those ancient institutions, as we are just over 50 years old. Though we are among the youngest universities in the world, we are very proud to take part in this time-honoured ceremony here today. Youth, however, does have its advantages sometimes. Macquarie University is a very modern and outward-looking university. We are regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities, and we are continually progressing by extending our research, our course offerings, and modernising our facilities. We now have over 184,000 graduates spread across 140 countries across the globe. It's very clear that we are a forward-looking institution and that we are on the move. However, some of the things that we value very deeply at Macquarie University will not change. The friendliness, I believe, of our staff and students is something which our visitors often remark upon and will always continue. Remember, please, that you are always welcome back at Macquarie University. We proudly take our name from, in my view, Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, whose greatness and achievements were never really acknowledged by his contemporaries and only by history. Those of us educated in New South Wales in the school system would have learned that Macquarie was a great builder, and that is certainly true. If one looks around downtown Sydney, many of the fine colonial buildings were erected during his time. But my view is that his greatest legacy actually had nothing to do with bricks and mortar at all. It was, in fact, the ethos that he established, much to the annoyance, by the way, of the British colonial authorities, of an egalitarian society. It was actually Macquarie's insistence that in the fledgling convict colony back then, there would be no distinction between the free man and the freed man. The man who had served his time as a legal convict and had been freed was to be treated exactly the same way as a member of that society who had come as a free man from the United Kingdom. And we believe that is, in fact, the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for everyone. And that is certainly the legacy that here at Macquarie University we will always aim to uphold and to honour. We will always be a leader in teaching and learning, a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, my academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly our graduands here today, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to the University on this occasion. And in just a few moments it will be my very great honour to confer upon our graduands the degrees that you have earned and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. It is now my great pleasure, in keeping with graduation traditions, to introduce our occasional speaker, Mr. Alastair Nicholas. Alastair Nicholas is the Chief Executive Officer, very recently appointed in fact, of the Cornerstone Group Australia, a government, corporate and public affairs consultancy firm, a friend to this university. Alastair's career straddles politics, government relations, economic policy, diplomacy, journalism, business, corporate affairs, and issues in crisis management across Australia, the United States, and in China. Highlights of his career include being International Trade Policy Advisor to the Federal Coalition, Australian Trade Commissioner to the World Bank and United Nations, running his own business in China for many years, working in government affairs in China for 13 years, and advising some of the world's leading companies on corporate and government affairs in numerous markets around the world. Mr. Nicholas also sits on the board of the NGO Welcome to My Yard, which works with homeless youths in Nepal. I now invite Mr. Alastair Nicholas to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Nicholas.
Vice-Chancellor Professor Dowden, members of the faculty, 2018 graduands, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to address you today on this auspicious occasion. Let me first congratulate all of you. The fact that you are here today, waiting for your degrees to be conferred, is testament to your hard work, your commitment, and your perseverance. It is also testament to the hard work, commitment, and perseverance of your parents and families. As a father who has one daughter who has graduated and one still at university, I can certainly attest to the hard work of the parents. So congratulations to all of you. For the graduands in whose honour we are here today, whether this is your first degree or a second degree or a third degree, it marks the first day of a new chapter in all of your lives. Thank you for allowing me to share in it today with you. 2 weeks ago, I was at home recovering from surgery to remove my appendix. and I was thinking about what I would possibly have to say to you all today. Some of this speech may have been affected by the drugs that were so powerful Coleridge would be envious. That's my disclaimer. In my days, I tried to peer back through the haze of time to my own graduation, nearly 35 years ago, and recall what the speaker had to say to inspire my fellow classmates and me at that time. I recall the speaker was an academic, a professor of sociology, who referenced great thinkers in his speech: Plato, Marcus Aurelius, Bertrand Russell, Herbert Marcuse, Noam Chomsky, and himself, of course. What exactly he said and what it was supposed to mean to us, the graduating class of 1984, I can't recall. I doubt most of my classmates recalled his speech a week later. And for most of us who had been celebrating that evening, I doubt we could recall it the next morning. I promise not to make the same mistake. There will be no further mention of great thinkers today or of highfalutin ideas from me. In short, I will try to keep this real, and I will try to keep it short. I am very much aware of the fact that I stand between you and time with your friends and families, photos and selfies, and the celebrations you'd like to soon start and perhaps never see end. But end they will. A new day will come, the first day of the rest of your life. You will likely find yourself in a cafe sipping coffee, maybe with a sore head tomorrow morning, or sitting by a beach and thinking about your future, about what you should do now. Your resume needs to be updated, you've got a new degree to add to it, and there are all those job applications you probably need to start writing. But it's not as daunting as it sounds. Tempting as it is to bore you with my life's experiences, and I think Professor Doughton has already done a little bit of that, I'm going to avoid it. Instead, I'd like to talk to you about you and the opportunities before you. You will succeed in life. You have already shown that you are made of the right stuff, that you have the work ethic, the commitment, and the drive to succeed. So I'm not going to talk about those. What I want to talk about is the fortune that awaits you, that you will come into, and what you should do with it. You might be surprised to hear this, but few people leave university with their careers mapped out. Even 5 years down the track, you will probably not have the grand scheme in place. In fact, speaking from my own experience, fortune often plays a bigger part in the road you take. Call it luck, or call it providence. Whatever you call it, you will find the gods smiling upon you from time to time. And it is what you choose to do at those times that will count. I said I wasn't going to mention any great thinkers, but I have to mention one great American philosopher at this juncture, Yogi Berra. Not Yogi Bear, Yogi Berra. You have probably never heard of him. Yogi Berra was a baseball catcher with the New York Yankees who went on to become a coach and a manager of the team. He had an 8th grade education and was well known for his quirky quotes, which often mixed up facts or words or were contradictory or paradoxical, usually unintentionally so. One of my favorite quotes by him is, "When you come to a fork in the road, take it." Indeed, take it. Fortune favors the bold. You may have heard that before. As I'm not referencing great thinkers apart from Yogi Berra, you will have to Google who said that. I've certainly tried to take the forks in the road when I have come to them, so long as they looked promising and so long as they would keep me on an upward trajectory in my career. Sometimes they required considerable boldness. Read risk-taking. For example, when I started my own consultancy business in China, working from a cafe and living on my savings, and despite having 3 very young children, quite a big risk, but it was a risk that paid off. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune will favor you if you take the right forks in the road. That's about you. But there's something greater than you that you need to give thought to as you make your way through life. Some great thinker, and again, I'm not going to say who, you can Google it, said, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of a continent, a part of the main." And there is a great deal of truth in this. We are social beings. You will be out celebrating later, and I'm willing to bet that very few of you will be choosing to celebrate alone tonight. But being social beings is about more than Facebook and selfies and beer pong on Friday nights. I'd encourage you to think about the larger world and the opportunity that fortune and forks in the road will give you to make a difference in it. Think about it. With your education, with your career before you, with the affluence and the influence you will have, the difference you will be able to make to this world. Each of you can change this world. Each of you can make a real difference. Even if that difference is only to change the lives of 10 people, the change will be phenomenal. Because each of those 10 people might change the lives of 10 more people, and so on and so forth. I'm sure that many of you in this room are better equipped than I am to do the maths on that. I was just a Pol Sci graduate with very poor numerical skills. But if you can think about that, think about the number of lives that could be transformed in your lifetime. How can you make a change? By donating, but I don't mean money. Anyone can give money, and money is necessary. When you make your fortune, I hope that you will contribute some of it to causes that improve the quality of life of those in need. But I'm talking about giving your time and your expertise. Volunteer for a charity or a cause you believe in, or a political party, or an organization that is trying to do some good in the world. I'm not going to preach my politics or my religion, nor promote the charities and organizations that I contribute to. My point is that if each of you is committed to something, if you believe in something, roll up your sleeves and make a contribution. Don't look at a problem and say someone should fix that. Ask yourself, what can you do to help fix that? Fortune has already smiled on you. You are now part of the elite. You are part of the privileged. You're probably sitting there thinking, no, I'm not, I'm just a guy, or I'm just a girl. But think about it. Only 6.7% of people in the world have a university or college education. 6.7%. You are in the top tier. You have arrived today. You are at the top of the world. You are a leader, and you can make a difference. And there's no end of causes you can get involved in to make the world a better place. Because if it's not going to be you, who is it going to be? The homeless guy sleeping in the tunnel at St. James Station overnight in Sydney? Or the orphan begging on the streets of Kathmandu? We can't say the buck stops with them. Who's going to have a bigger individual impact? They or you? If your answer is you, you have no excuse for inaction. Join a cause or get some of your friends together to start a cause to fix a problem no one else is fixing. The final thing I'd like to say to you is to stay grounded. Amongst you here today are people who will make it to the very top. Some of you will become CEOs. Some of you will become politicians and leaders in society. There may even be a future Prime Minister amongst you. Perhaps one of you might become a billionaire. Maybe one of you will be the face behind the next big thing, the next Amazon, or the cryptocurrency that defines post-fiat money. Don't be surprised, but whatever you do, stay grounded. Remember, you are not an island entire of yourself. Remembering you have a social responsibility and working to help less fortunate people will help you to stay grounded. So too will keeping the right friends around you. Make sure that no matter how high you go, no matter how high into the social and economic stratosphere of life you fly, your friends and family are never too afraid to speak truth to power, to you. Too many high flyers crash back to earth like Icarus, not because they did not listen, but because those closest to them were too afraid to tell them the truth. As high as you fly, stay grounded, stay approachable. Keep it real. You will come to many forks in the road. Be bold. Take risks. Fortune will favor you. When it does, remember where you came from and the opportunity fortune is giving you to make a difference. I'm afraid that I've kept you too long from Instagramming and Snapchatting this event and the celebrations to come. I wish you all great success in your careers and in making your marks on the world. Thank you again for letting me share this happiest of days with you. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Nicholas on a wonderful graduation address to us, occasional address in the finest tradition that they are offered. And for our graduands, and indeed for all of us, some wise words of advice there. And I think the thing that struck me most about Mr. Nicholas's address was thinking about things for ourselves and thinking about things for what we can do for others in the wider world, and that most important notion of staying grounded as graduands, and for the rest of us, helping these wonderful folks stay grounded and stay true to the idealism that has brought them to this moment in their lives today. I think Mr. Nicholas deserves another great round of applause. Thank you again. Now, as Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring the degrees upon those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. Now, if our Chancellor were here, he would explain to the graduands that this is the moment of anxiety that he has in the graduation ceremony, because a good friend of his, a former justice of a senior court in this land, once explained to the Chancellor that if he conferred a degree for which a student was not eligible, then it was very, very hard to take that degree back again. And that causes our Chancellor some anxiety. So he insists, as do I, that we call upon the Registrar of the University, Ms. Gail White, to formally certify the eligibility of all of those who have met the requirements for the degrees today. Registrar.
Vice-Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
That's all of you folks.
All of you.
In the name of Macquarie University Council, and by my authority delegated as the Vice-Chancellor from the Council of the University, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated again. Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics, and I now call on Professor Leonie Tickle, Associate Dean, Learning and Teaching of the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates. Professor Tickle.
Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. The Faculty of Business and Economics is the largest faculty at Macquarie University and one of the largest in Australia. We are an applied, engaged and global business school. Our role is to create knowledge through applied research in the areas of marketing, management, finance, economics, actuarial studies and business analytics and accounting. Working with our academic and corporate partners, our students and alumni, we create and share research that addresses business and societal challenges. Our programs are innovative and include engagement with industry as well as the development of employability skills. The skills developed are in demand globally. Our programs are recognised and accredited by key industry bodies, and we enjoy a strong reputation amongst the business and professional communities. Our graduates have starting salaries well above the average for all Australian business schools. These graduates have the skills, knowledge and purpose to make a positive contribution to their families, to their communities and to the world. Vice-Chancellor, I'm proud to present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics whom you were admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Damien Mason Elturk. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Chanel Abu Crouch. Joshua James Adams. Nadia Akbar. Anuksha Ann Pradeep Aldonka. Dita Adanis. Hui Chung Ao. Jordan Baldwin. Carly-Ann Barsenbach. Lucy Jane Batchelor. Jeremy Philbert Bijasono. Harach Bijekian. Matthew James Bowd. David Buffin. Thi Duan Chung Bui. Kevin Kahayade. Sung Ye Sai. Angus Quinn Callister. Sean Kabastani. Nicholas Claret Celestin. Jia Yi Chen. Yu Han Chen. Gordon Ka Ming Chen. Grace Ji Ling Chung. Yung King Bevan Chu. Oliver William Cole. Chriselle Glennis de Souza. Keelan Daly. Tenzin Datsa Tsang. Bao Xin Deng. Erica Anthea Dennehy. Demi Di Stefano. Katrina Diaz. Charlene Ding. Madeline Dirks. Kim Han Do. Mitchell Easy. Bill Egajos. Adam Elbaz. Sean Eustace. Mei Chi Fang. Xin Yan Fang. Marcus Patrick Fisher. Oliver Michael Forbes Smith. Megan Lily Fowler. Bo Fu. Kian Furlong. Ashley Harbach. Anita Rani Gopal. Rachel Gopez. Isabella Grillo. Marlena Grobler. Pei Ling He. Todd James Hodgkins. Jamie Douglas Holt. Manor Hukmani. Nezibe Islek. Vivian Frances Jones. Tien Shou Khan. Waleed Qasim. Joshua Khoury. Melina Maria Kovios. Lek Krong Singh. Christine Kynock. Caitlin Latty. Catherine Elizabeth Laguarde. Guo Dong Lee. Annie Jia Hui Liang. Johnson Liu. Shi Mark Liu. Jia Xuan Lu. Wei Tung Luo. Alexandra Mangona. Andrew McCall. Emily McDougall. Sean McSweeney. Nicholas Montgomery. Thomas Murray. Luke Musumechi. James Nader. Emmanuel Suraj Narayan. Akshay Natu. Daniel Navaratnam. Ka Yan Ung. Ricky Ng. Catherine Nguyen. Sunas Nuruzi Diznub. Catherine Margaret Nutt. Elizabeth O'Brien. Paolo Paparo. Nicole Zio Parenti. Ching Peng. Alexander Oscar Passon. Huang Guan Pham. Louise Demi Raisin. Michael Rudran Rajkumar. Stuart Basil Rawlinson. Lachlan Sloan Rigney. Elena Roach. Veronica Rochelle Rodriguez. Mohammed Hamza Saad. Janitha Saravanapavan. Krista Saunders. Adeline Wynn Kwan Seat. Alexander Serrano. Prashanth Sivapatham. Maral Shiralazadeh. Chi Hang So. Constantine Similidis. Yik Yan Tang. Wen Chi Tang. Dylan Tanakun. Xu Ching Teo. Monica Chandra. Mateusz Tunovic. Joseph Hung Jin Sao. Yuka Tsunoshima. Taylor Blahos. Morgan James Flopman. Tian Verm. Lucas Wagshaw. Crystal 1. Jinmo Wang. Talia Mary Weismantel. Thomas John Williams. Melissa Wynne. Shin Shin. Lin Pang Shu. Meng Chen Chuan. Nicholas Yazdani. Sam Yusuf. Darren Yuen. Chu Zhe Ju. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting, Wilson Tandy. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce, Noor Barakat. Hyun Suk Cho. Millicent Rosie Collison. Ling Ding. Jennifer Hartanto. Ming Hung He. Xuan Hu. Jun Hui Huang. Shin Ran Lan. Jia Jin Lee. Xuan San Liu. Lin Vu Gao Pham. Xiao Lin Che. Fabiola Resiliana. Ahmed Zaki Rabani. Yu Chern Sun. Tin Gao Mi Jan. Vanessa Valerie, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Xian Fa Ye. Hao Tian Yu. Hui Wen Yu. Xue Ying Zhang. Rui Zhang. Xingbei Zhang. Yan Hui Zhao. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Queen Agba Bayman Agba 4, for a thesis entitled Understanding SME Employees' Security Behaviours when Performing Work Tasks using BYOD from multiple work locations. Chinta Mati Bhattarai for a thesis entitled Assessing the Impact of Employee Involvement in Decision-Making and Management Prerogative in the Australian Mining Sector through Legislative Lens. Connor Charles Angus Stead for a thesis entitled Exploring Information Systems Success and Organisational Big Data Analytics Capabilities in International Financial Reporting Standard 9 Adoption. present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Shedja Thawi, for a thesis entitled Consumer and Brand Engagement on Facebook Brand Pages. Dr. Yakupidi Chandrendra Ruwan Kirtipala for a thesis entitled Identity-Based Consumption of Subsistence Consumers. Dr. John Rowan Parker for a thesis entitled The Role of Insight in Advancing the Creativity of an Advertising Message Proposition. Dr. Xuan Xiao for a thesis entitled Theoretical and Empirical Examination of Corporate Social Responsibility in East Asia, Implications from Confucianism, Legalism and Taoism. I present the graduate from the Faculty of Science and Engineering admitted to the degree of Master of Information Technology, Shreya Singh. Vice-Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics.
Vice-Chancellor, I call on Ms Emily McDougall, who has graduated today with a Bachelor of Commerce, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Ms McDougall.
Good afternoon, Vice-Chancellor, parents, friends, tutors, conveners, mentors, and of course the class of 2018. I would like to start by paying my respect to the local Indigenous people, the traditional custodians of this land where we are meeting upon today, as well as our elders both past and present. Today is a very special celebration for us all. It not only marks the completion of our course of study, but also the beginning of self-guided discovery as we learn the mastery of individual career development. Despite each of us carrying different goals, today Macquarie University brings us all together to acknowledge our shared success and celebrate the evolution of our individual passions as we make the transition from students into our chosen profession. During my final year of study, a wise professor once said that passion, in the form of an intrinsic motivation, lays the foundation for creative thought, but that the basis of expertise in our chosen discipline, that is knowledge, does not breed creativity. Let me tell you about the Whitesides Lab. A man named George led a creative, experimental environment for PhD students studying science. The lab was free of guidelines, rules, and in fact, any sense of direction. The processes imposed by George demanded the students to think on their feet. Now, while the students possessed the qualifications, skill, and knowledge to carry out research, when placed under the conditions of the Whitesides Lab, they couldn't help but feel lost by the absence of structure. The students became overwhelmed by fear. A fear of not knowing where to start, a fear that their creative idea might not be good enough, a fear of judgment by others, and a fear of failing something they were so passionate about. To break down these barriers, George needed the students to become vulnerable to creativity. He needed to inspire an intrinsic motivation that would ignite their desire to create, but also challenge their way of doing science. In many ways, university was our own Whitesides lab. Finding a parking spot before 8 a.m. was much like a scene from the Hunger Games. Racing across campus to your next class within 3 minutes was generally impossible. And when it came to assignments, well, the only study plan was to procrastinate until the night before, just to prove you lived dangerously by submitting at 11:59 p.m. Just as we today are being recognised for our achievement, it is important that we appreciate there will always be a time for innovating knowledge. We need to be open to experimentation and permit ourselves to fail. This will allow us to create room for growing our passion beyond established ways of thinking. No one ever changed the world by following the old rules, so why should we? My final words to the class of 2018. Trust in yourself and in your imagination. In the words of Steve Droke, knowledge is power, but passion flicks the switch. Thank you.
Well, Emily, congratulations on your degree, and thank you for those wonderful words. Again, terrific thoughts and advice there, and I particularly like the last part about allowing yourselves to be yourselves, to take risks, and the importance of passion. Being passionate about something in your life is going to get you so far in the world. I think Emily deserves another great round of applause for a wonderful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, that terrific voice belongs to Ms. Angela Brewer. We're very fortunate to have Angela perform at our graduations, and you may not know that Macquarie University was founded to be a distinctive university some 54 years ago, and I doubt that you would find any other graduation ceremony in the world that has such a wonderful diva operatic voice entertaining us for graduation. And graduands, you are very lucky to have Angela singing here today, and the Chancellor points out that if Angela, and she's almost always here, if she can't get here, he has to sing. And I can guarantee you did not want to hear me sing today. So I think Angela deserves another great round of applause. I'd like to also take a moment to thank our musicians on the organ, Dr. James Forsyth. And on the Chinese transverse flute, Dr. Chai Chang-Ying. We're very fortunate also to have representatives from our alumni community who come along to our graduations to help the proceedings, and I'd like you to join me in thanking them as well. So graduates of Macquarie University, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with the university, but it is certainly not the end of your association with us. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of that larger Macquarie University family, which is our alumni, and part of the network, as I pointed out earlier, of over 184,000 graduates spread across the globe. We will keep in touch with you through our Alumni Relations Office, and I hope you will have a chance to come back here to visit the campus, attend alumni events, perhaps to undertake further study, although you're probably not thinking about that right now, or simply to have a wander through the beautiful Macquarie University campus. Now, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries, in my view, serious responsibilities. I urge you all to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning. I urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. I urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you as far as this day. I urge you also to think of how you can help others, as Alistair did in his remarks early along the way. You don't have to do very much sometimes, you know, to make a real difference in someone else's life. And you don't have to be Einstein either to change the world. Sometimes just a simple, kind gesture can mean so much to another person as they face a challenge in their own deep personal life or in their professional life. So I urge you always to always give thought to what you can do for others along the way as well. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those whom you encounter along life's journey. My hope is that as graduates of this great university, you will use what you have learned here, not only for your own benefit, but for the benefit and betterment of your community. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I hope you will always remember also, graduates, the people who have helped you out along the way, many of whom are here with us in the auditorium today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm going to ask our graduates to do a couple of things for me. First of all, I'd like you to all please stand up. I'd like you to turn around and place your testimonies on the seat behind you and face your family and friends. And in great appreciation, I urge you to give them a mighty round of applause. Now you might turn around, but don't sit down just yet, as we'll be leaving shortly. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you throughout your journey. Please join me also in thanking them. Now, graduates, if you please remain standing, but do pick up your testimony from your seat behind you. We wouldn't want you to leave it here, since we will soon be leaving with the official party to the courtyard. As we do, Dr. Forsyth will play the traditional recessional music, which has been played at ceremonies of graduation for centuries. This music, with an age-old set of Latin lyrics, begins as Gaudeamus igitur, nos habebit juventutem, which in translation, this exit graduation song starts out, therefore let us rejoice, for we will always be young. This song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and old age at the very same time, about the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of city, of state, and importantly of happiness. Again, to the newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for your futures filled with success, satisfaction, and happiness. Now, might I please ask everyone to stand. Shortly, I will lead the official party out, followed by the graduates. I then invite you all to follow the graduates in the procession down to the Macquarie for some light refreshments. In closing today's wonderful celebration of your achievements, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, let us therefore rejoice.